A ceremony at the office of the Prime Minister on Monday, December 6, 2021. Minister of State in the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for the National Insurance Board, the Honorable Miles LaRota, told the House of Assembly on Monday that the government-funded unemployment assistance program has been extended to December 2021, with beneficiaries to receive an additional lump sum payment of $500 that will be paid in mid-December. The program had been scheduled to end in September 2021. Mr. LaRota said that the estimated cost of the stimulus is around $6.5 million. It is the intention of the government to make craft souvenirs and creative products made by Bahamians the center of the tourism product. The Honorable Alfred Sayers, Minister of Works and Utilities, underscored this point as he addressed a press conference to officially announce the reopening of the straw market. A cross-section of the public service gathered to pay tribute to Mary Mitchell, Treasurer and Accountant General of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, as she retires after 46 years of service. Ms. Mitchell was celebrated for her outstanding commitment as a caring, compassionate change agent at a gala retirement luncheon banquet at Bahama Resort on Friday, December 3rd.
I vividly remember coming into the Treasury for the first day, being introduced to the staff and assigned to the expenditure section. And the supervisor at the time was Ms. Sheila Smith, accountant, and I joined her on her team in November of 1975.
There is an administrative term that I learned in college, and it was the acronym PODC. Plan, organize, direct, and control. She did nothing without those four things in place.
Of course, I'm indeed grateful for the opportunity to have worked and serve these great people of the Treasury Department. All the accounting, support, and custodial staff right here in headquarters, and all those in the ministries and departments, those in Abaco, our Abaco office, our Freeport office. I am eternally grateful for this opportunity.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Your Government in Action. We look forward to an inspired year 2022 as we bring you the agenda of the Davis administration at work for you. Join us again next week for another edition of Your Government in Action. Have a prosperous new year, everyone. Thank you for watching. I'm Lindsay Thompson.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, the Minister of National Security on his first official tour on Grand Bahama. Also, it's the first day of full face-to-face classes here on the island. And a boating accident also under investigations over on the island of Abaco. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Shoshana Rolf-Arcus, and as always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, the Minister for National Security, Wayne Munro, and the Commissioner of Police, Paul Roll, on Grand Bahama touring the local police stations. The Royal Bahamas Police Force delegation also paying a courtesy call to the Minister for Grand Bahama, Ginger Moxie.
Welcome to Grand Bahama, Minister. Happy to have you here with us.
The Minister for Grand Bahama, Ginger Moxie, welcoming the Minister for National Security, Wayne Munro, on his first official visit to Grand Bahama in this capacity.
I now see why the Commissioner booked me to come here with the PS and the DPS, because I know at the cabinet table you're always fighting for Grand Bahama and everything. You ask for Grand Bahama, and so we see that there are some issues.
The minister also touring the Gerald Bartlett complex and the Lucaya police station, where he was apprised of the daily report. Outlining some of the challenges on Grand Bahama, Munro says they are seeking to address the police stations that have been without air-conditioned units, in some cases for years.
A 20, 30-year-old unit, you'll be bound to have problems over and over again. It will not be economic to do so, and the prudent thing to do would be to replace it.
The Commissioner of Police, Paul Roll, also on Grand Bahama. He says additional new recruits are also expected for the island. He also had an opportunity to tour the police training college and had a few words to say.
I have another 40 that's starting to come here to be trained. The ones now, most of them, we have a group from Turks and Caicos. We have 20 for Grand Bahama, and there are now 20 fire officers that are on there that should have came in last Sunday.
And there has been issues with transportation for police officers since the passage of Hurricane Dorian.
The issue we've been having was sourcing. If you go on all of the auto dealerships in New Providence right now, empty. But I took, I ain't take possession yet, but I have 50 vehicles right now on the, I think it's Sandpin Motors. We just got the insurance for those on Friday, and they'll be licensing those, and you're going to have some of those coming here.
A lack of fire equipment on Grand Bahama has also been a long-standing issue. The police chief says that those cries have been heard.
Send us a nice ladder truck, 130-foot ladder truck that you're going to be getting here in another couple of weeks. It's on the way to Nassau now, and we're going to be doing some training with our officers first, and we'll get that spiff up and get it down here to you.
Minister Moxie says her ministry will continue to partner with the Royal Bahamas Police Force.
And will continue to do that through our new unit called Collaboration, where we partner to get things done in the community and bring relief to those in need.
Well, a pilot from Jupiter, Florida, and his passenger escaped serious injuries when their aircraft crashed about 1 mile away from the Treasure Key Airport on Sunday. Police say the duo had just taken off from the airport in Abaco on board a white Piper Aztec twin-engine aircraft when the plane began to experience left engine failure. Reports say the plane began losing power, resulting in a crash landing in the forest. The pilot and passenger sustained minor injuries and were later assisted and taken to the Cooperstown Clinic for medical attention. Investigations are ongoing. Meantime, a boating accident also under investigation on the island of Abaco. Police say initial reports reveal that around 8 p.m. on Sunday, a white 18-feet Boston whaler vessel crashed into rocks on Footski, which was occupied by 2 adult Caucasian males. Now, reports say both males were ejected from the vessel upon impact. The captain received serious injuries and was transported to the Marsh Harbor Clinic and later airlifted to New Providence to seek medical attention. The other male was not injured, and investigations are ongoing. Switching gears, it's face-to-face from this time on for schools in Grand Bahama. The decision coming following consultation with health officials. Our ZNS News team visiting several learning institutions on this northern island. And as we hear in this report, education officials are all excited to have students back on campus. Ramiko Knowles reports.
The day for all students in Grand Bahama to return to the classroom for in-person learning is here. It will be the model used going forward, which is a good sign for education. At Hugh Campbell Primary School, cars lined the streets as parents dropped their kids off. One parent gave his child a thumbs up as she walked onto the school's campus. At the Walter Parker Primary School, the future leaders were in their books, fully engaged in the lesson. Principal Romelda Bean says it is their second week of having all the students return for face-to-face instruction and notes that the teachers were eager to get the students back on campus.
Many of our students were falling behind simply because they weren't in the face-to-face modality, and as soon as they came back, we put our foot to the ground to get them ready to where they need to be. Our grade 1s and grade 2s, of course, need a whole lot more work simply because they weren't face-to-face with their teachers to teach them how to hold a pencil, how to write, and so forth. So all of that we're working on right now.
And as for the upper primary students,
they were doing well in terms of virtual classes, but face-to-face will give the teachers themselves a little bit more, they would be more comfortable in terms of teaching the children, and I think that's why we wanted to come back fully face-to-face.
It's also fully face-to-face for high schools on the island. Over at the Jack Haywood High School, Vice Principal Janice Pinder says that some parents are now registering their children for school.
We still have students coming in to register, more so the grade 10 students. I don't know why, but there are still, I think we took in about 10 new students since we came back for hybrid. I think that, I don't know if maybe some students relocated, during the whole virtual period. Some parents relocated and took the students. So what we have to do is every day we have to take a student attendance count.
Pinder adds that some students who have never logged on to the virtual learning platform have returned for face-to-face learning. She says that teachers are working to help those students with the assignments they've missed.
The ministry used some strategy to say, okay, we're going to continue term 1, I guess, because we know that there were a lot of students who weren't logging on. So now that they're face-to-face, we're still in term 1, and they can get grades up until time for term 1 to end, so that they can have grades to go towards their report card.
Now, while most schools on Grand Bahama have returned to in-person instruction, here at the Jack Haywood Junior High School, they will remain in the hybrid model, according to Principal Joyanne Penniman.
We are still in the hybrid model because of the dynamics of the school. When we adhere to the safety protocols with 3 feet spacing in the classroom, we're only able to accommodate 20 students per room. And with the population, that allows us to host 2 grade levels on the campus at a time.
The principal says virtually only 50% of the student population were logging on, which is not good. She believes the hybrid model works best for the school.
The virtual platform posed some challenges, and that is because of the socio-economic situation in Grand Bahama. There were some students who didn't have any devices, some of them no power. They were just living in some unsavory situations. So we're happy that they're having some face-to-face contact time.
Ramiko Knowles, ZNS Network News.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness issuing a statement on the adjustment in the COVID-19 health protocols effective, which took past this Sunday. Ramiko Knowles has more in this report.
A church or place of religious instruction or worship may conduct services including a wedding or a funeral in accordance with the protocols issued or approved by the Ministry of Health and Wellness. A church or place of religious instruction or worship on an island listed in the second schedule, Grand Bahama and New Providence, may conduct services provided that attendance is limited to 50% of the occupancy of the facility where the service is being conducted. The applicable protocols issued or approved by the Ministry of Health and Wellness in respect of that church or place of religious instruction or worship is adhered to. Funeral services may now be conducted in the church or place of religious activity with the casket or urn present, provided that all COVID-19 protocols and any protocols issued or approved by the Ministry of Health and Wellness are observed. A funeral service may be held at a graveside, provided that all attendees and officiants adhere to the COVID-19 protocols and any protocols issued or approved by the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Indoor group exercise is permitted, subject to Rule 94A of the Health Services COVID-19 General Rules 2021, provided that the group is limited to not more than 30 people. Restaurants must ensure that all patrons are fully vaccinated or have a valid negative rapid antigen test result. The maximum seating shall be 75% of the seating capacity. Restaurants are required to ensure that all patrons observe mask-wearing protocols as outlined by the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Social gatherings may be held or attended indoors, provided that they are held at a private residence with not more than 40 people. Social gatherings may be held or attended at a facility, provided that all attendees are either fully vaccinated or present a negative COVID-19 test result and all COVID-19 protocols are adhered to. Social gatherings may be held outdoors with not more than 100 people, provided that all attendees are either fully vaccinated or present a negative COVID-19 test and all COVID-19 protocols are adhered to. The public is reminded that large gathering events remain prohibited at this time. Anyone who hosts or attends a social gathering contrary to the above rules commits an offense and is liable upon summary conviction in the case of a host to a fine not exceeding $2,000 and to a fine not exceeding $3,000 for each person in attendance, and in the case of an attendee to a fine not exceeding $300. As for travel requirements, anyone entering the Bahamas or traveling inter-island from Grand Bahama and New Providence is required to undergo a rapid antigen test on the 5th day after arrival and submit the results to the Ministry of Health and Wellness via its travel health website, travel.gov.bs. Anyone who is out to sea on the second day of his stay is required to undergo a rapid antigen test at the first port of call thereafter and submit the results to the Ministry of Health and Wellness via its travel health website, travel.gov.bs. Where the rapid antigen test indicates a positive result, that person shall be required to undergo an RT-PCR test and submit to mandatory isolation in accordance with the rules. Anyone who fails to undergo a COVID-19 test in accordance with the rules is liable to a fine not exceeding $1,000 or to a term not exceeding 1 month's imprisonment. Ramiko Knowles, ZNS Network News.
The Aircraft Owners Pilots Association, based in the U.S., is viewed as an influential group with disposable income. The group of private pilots fly to various destinations throughout the year. And this past Saturday, Grand Bahama welcomed the vice president of the group, Richard McSpadden, who says he was elated to make his inaugural trip to the island.
Because these are my two friends, and Valerie is a Skyline Baron pilot on Instagram, very well known about her Baron flying, and I've been wanting to fly her Baron with her for quite a while, and I was in the neighborhood and we said, hey, let's go to the Bahamas because it's so beautiful here, the weather's great, and I haven't been here in quite a while, and so we jumped in an airplane and came over.
It is Richard's first time in Freeport, and we want to make sure that he sees, you know, how beautiful this island is, Grand Bahamas, and you know, just like areas that we really enjoy, and share that with Richard.
On our social media platforms, there's many hundreds of thousands of people that watch, and we like to show those people also what the islands have to offer.
McSpadden highlighting the role of the AOPA that primarily advocates for general aviation, mainly in the United States.
The Aircraft Owners and Pilots Association, as I mentioned, we protect general aviation, we grow it, and we try to keep it safe. So some of our initiatives are we try to really, in growing general aviation, we move into high schools, and we have high school curriculum that has kids at an early age get interested in aviation for a career, because there's never been a better time to be in general aviation. It's just exploding all across our country and really in some places the world. So we want to see that grow even more. We have flying clubs that we help people get into. We have rusty pilot programs that help pilots get into flying. And then we're the largest advocate, lobbying agency for general aviation in the world. And we do a lot of just protecting general aviation from some of the things that could limit that freedom to fly.
Stay with us. We'll be back in just a moment.
Come on down. Now. Come on down. Now.
We have safely protected your lives, assets, and aspirations for over 100 years. That's a lot of protection. At BAF, we know that our commitment to you goes beyond a policy or an investment. It's a commitment. Find out how to grow with us. And if you are already with us, find out how we can help you grow even more. Because when you choose BAF, we are with you for life.
Renew Day Spa offers quality spa wellness and therapeutic treatments that combine beauty and luxury with 2 locations to serve you, Freeport and now Marsh Harbor, Abaco. Immerse yourself in any of their many spa services, facials, massages, manis, pedis, nail services, and body scrubs, just to name a few. Stop by for coffee, tea, or non-alcoholic wine and indulge in some boutique shopping with their fashionable clothing selection. Stock up on skincare products or treat a loved one to a spa gift certificate. Renew Day Spa. Relax.
Someone take my bag. Call the police. Someone took my bag. Someone took my bag with my point. I leave the car for 1 quick second and someone take my bag.
Crime prevention should be everyone's business. Therefore, we want to remind you not to leave your bags or valuables visibly seen on the seat of your vehicle unattended. This negligent practice will create an opportunity for a criminal to commit a crime. Please desist from such practices.
This message is brought to you by the Royal Bahamas Police Force, creating safer communities.
King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The Champs Community Center is now entering its second phase of construction. The Community Vocational Institute, which will be an after-school center for young men from grades 9 through 12, is expected to be completed by September. Director of the Champs Community Center says the shipping containers that have been donated from international partners will also house classrooms, housing dorms, a kitchen area, and restrooms at the center.
We have come a long way on 1.39 acres of property. The front section that you see here is going to be the vocational classes, and the behind the buildings that we're going to be putting up, it's an area that we're going to use for vocational farming, where we're going to begin taking the opportunities to be able to teach young men about farming. This is phase 2 out of 5 here at the Champs Community Center, where we're working in partnership with all the properties being donated by the Grand Bahama Port Authority, the kindness of the heart of Mr. Ian Roll and Ms. Sarah St. George and the Haywood family. The Falcons Boys Club just want to say thank you again for assisting us as we develop an institution that we believe every 4 years we're going to be able to help 80 young men find full-time employment at the end of completing high school.
The Grand Bahama Shipyard Apprenticeship Program has been assisting with the fabrication of what is expected to be modular structure buildings. Under the leadership of Supervisor Alvaro Kemp, each day a crew of workers offer their skills and time in helping to build the structures.
I am so thankful to the Grand Bahama Shipyard, its management team, and the apprentice who they have allowed to come down here at the community center and assist us with being able to cut the holes in the various shipping containers that have been donated by one of our international partners. And this afternoon, we are so thankful that by next week, these holes are going to be cut open, and we're going to be able to install the windows and install the doors and begin working on the inside of this institution. We're hoping to have this up and running by September. We have already spoken to all of the relevant authorities who's going to help us as we work with young men.
Meantime, the Reach Out Youth Organization is gearing up to host its 15th annual Boys to Men Conference, and that's on February 23rd, 2022 at Tabernacle Baptist Christian Academy. This year's theme is The Sky is the Limit. Host and founder Dudley Sage says dynamic speakers have agreed to address the young men at the conference, and it is sure to be impactful.
We have Bruce Russell from Calvary Temple. We also have Mr. Norris Bean. He is one of the presenters. And we have a very exciting young man. His name is Dudley Sage Jr. He's a preacher. He'll be speaking also to the youth at the conference. The Minister for Youth, Sports and Culture. He's going to be bringing some remarks also at the conference. But the reason why we use the theme, The Sky is the Limit, a lot of times the young folks or young kids don't realize that you have to dream big, reach for the stars. And that's why we used the theme this year. There's some great athletes came out of the same school where they are, Demetrius Pender. He's an Olympian. But our whole message is to let them know, instead of picking the wrong crowds, stay focused, do your schoolwork, and at the end of the day, you don't know what you could become.
Well, founder of the fitness gym, Omar Isaacs, and the leader of the Platinum Nights Junkanoo group, Thomas Curry, will also be a part of this year's conference.
It's always a pleasure to be a part of organizational schemes like this, to be able to impart what we've already learned. Many of us have been abroad. We've been exposed for the youth who have been under lock and key for some time. They don't really know what's going on in the wider world and the global community. And these are the times when men can plant themselves and what their wisdom into the youth.
It's a good thing that the Reach Out Ministry has been doing for the past 15 years, because if you know, in these homes now, a lot of these young men don't have father figures, and only so much the mothers can do. So it's very important to have these type of conference and to prune these young men and to make them successful in life and to stay on the right path.
And it's time for your Monday evening sports check with Jay Philippe.
I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to Sports. Do not count out the return of high school sports just as yet. We have an update on that. Also on the college scene, one high jumper is making waves. But let's start this one off, basketball at the international level. Grand Bahamian Willis Mackey is in his third year as a basketball pro. The 6'8" forward is currently playing in one of the top leagues in Spain. In his last game, Willis scored 16 points and grabbed 14 rebounds. We caught up with the rising star who will be competing for the Bahamas Senior Men's national team this weekend against the Dominican Republic.
We started off on top and we finished our regular season last week Friday, and we were still able to finish in the top 5, which means now we have a chance to play in the playoffs to promote to the next level of basketball in France, which is the Pro B level. And for me personally, I still ended the season leading the team in points, second in rebounds, and helping out in basically every other area that I can. And I'm really proud of my performance. I've had some ups and downs. I dealt with COVID at one point, and it was a long road to try to get back to where I was at the beginning of the season, but I am slowly but surely getting back there, so feeling good moving forward. And for the national team, I'm really looking forward to the opportunity, as always, to put the jersey on, to have the Bahamas across my chest is a major honor. I don't take it lightly, and every time I put the jersey on, I know what it means to me personally and to everybody else watching.
Switching gears now, local sport district superintendent of education for Grand Bahama and former junior national team coach and champion Ivan Butler provided an update on the possible return of school sports in Grand Bahama.
There have been some talks with the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture concerning non-contact sports,
But our priority was to get our students in school, and now that they're in school, then our next step will be to see how soon or how quickly we can engage in any kind of after-school activities. But any sporting activities will be non-contact for now.
Hopefully that's some good news for athletes and coaches. Now moving on to the corner scene in track and field, former Clifton standout Tyler Mizik competed this weekend at the NJCAA Region 6 Indoor Championships, where he won the high jump with a leap of 2.10 meters, which is 6 feet 10 and 3/4. Mizik is just in his first year at Iowa Western Community College. Congratulations to Tyler, the kid can fly. And that's a quick check on sports. That's all I have for you. I'm Jay Philippe. Be blessed.
Bethel's Air Conditioning and Refrigeration, number 3 Milton Street, wants to shower you with love with a 20% off store-wide sale for the month of February. Call 602-5467. Certain restrictions apply.
At Pizza Hut Freeport, you can enjoy 2 medium Pizza Hut one-topping pizzas, pan-thin crust, and a 2-liter Coke for just $23.05. Get your pizza your way for only $23.05.
VAT inclusive.
Pick your toppings and order today. Call Pizza Hut downtown at 352-9191 or Pizza Hut East Sunrise Highway, 373-8500. Pizza Hut Freeport.
Island Bedding is the Bahamas' leading manufacturer in mattress sets. But did you know we also carry top quality products like pillows, comforters, sheets, and much more. Our furniture line is also expanding to meet the needs of those rebuilding. We have bedroom sets, sofa beds, recliners, accent pieces, and so much more. Come and experience Island Bedding today, where everybody deserves their own island.
Look, I don't know who Sean they think I am, all right? I only win 2 BAISS championships. I deal with connectivity.
Alive. What do we got?
Well, we are 100% Bahamian owned, and we inspired all Bahamians to believe in best. And we delivered on revolutionizing telecommunications in the Bahamas. Not to mention, our network works in the good days and the bad.
Thank you, but I need you to go faster, be better.
Are you tired, overweight, having trouble sticking to your health and fitness goals? Well, look no further. The Fitness Connection has teamed up with Z&S to bring you Health Bites. This and every Thursday, tune in, and we'll make sure you get on track and stay on track with your health and fitness goals. Tune in.
The King of the North is back. Howard 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Shanique Ford, you are our Facebook friend of the day, and we also want to say a very special happy birthday to our very own Michael Hepburn. He is probably the pest of Z&S Northern Service, but we love him so much. And Ishmael Ballou, you have a fabulous birthday. That's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of our entire Z&S News team, I'm Shashina Wolf-Parkinson. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the National Report, the Christian Council on Relaxed COVID Protocols. Taking vaccines into schools. The latest on the Grand Lucayan Resort. And Ole Miss scores its first 20-win season in more than a decade. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Super Fast Internet for Less. Best rate, no debate. Sign up today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lopinder. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for joining us. COVID-19 restrictions initially implemented to slow the spread of the virus further eased. Welcomed news to many as new guidelines are now in place for travel, social gatherings, and funerals. Cleopatra Murphy leads us off tonight.
Cautiously optimistic. That pretty much sums up how one business owner and a few members of the public feel following a loosening of COVID-19 restrictions that opens the doors to more people patronizing restaurants, more congregants attending church services, and more people being able to attend public events. Owner of the Count Pearl Bar and Grill, Jennifer Stubbs, says her Arawaki establishment took a major blow due to the lockdowns at the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. With business picking up again, she hopes the public will not become careless with more freedom.
I think it's going to create more business for me, but I just want people to be aware that we're still not out of this yet. You know, just be careful. Still maintain the protocols and realize that this is our chance to actually get out of this altogether. If we have a problem now, we have a surge that's going back down the hill. So I'm happy that things have been lifted. I'm looking forward to generating some more business, but I still want everybody to be cautious.
Under the new guidelines, private social gatherings can be held indoors with as many as 40 people and outdoor gatherings with no more than 100 people if they are fully vaccinated or produce a negative COVID-19 test and protocols are followed. Restaurants can now operate at 75% capacity. However, owners must ensure customers are fully vaccinated or produce a negative COVID-19 test while other protocols are followed. Stubbs says she has no issues enforcing regulations.
I just keep all the sanitizers on the counter. I remind people to wear a mask, remind them to sanitize. And it's been pretty good for me. I removed all of my outdoor seating area just so I don't encourage too much of a crowd, because I want to be safe too. And my customers, I want them to remain safe.
Marley Grant, an entertainer, also welcomes the relaxations, but too insists the public must continue to follow necessary guidelines as to avoid a setback.
A lot of people want to go back to work. Yes, the government is doing the right thing, but you need to do it steadily. Don't do it too fast. You monitor it as you go.
Other changes include as many as 30 people can now participate in indoor exercise. For travel, anyone coming to the Bahamas or traveling from New Providence or Grand Bahama must produce a negative COVID-19 test 72 hours before travel and RT-PCR test for the unvaccinated. If you're entering the country or traveling inter-island, it's required that you produce a negative rapid antigen test 5 days after travel. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Now, also weighing in on the relaxed restrictions, officials of the Bahamas Christian Council. Fern Carey spoke with the council's president, who's applauding this latest move.
The new restrictions for churches, social gatherings, and indoor dining come as COVID cases across the country are continuing to trend downwards. It's against this backdrop that the Ministry of Health and Wellness has announced that church services here in New Providence and on Grand Bahama can now enjoy a maximum seating capacity of 50%, up from the previous 25% occupancy limit. President of the Bahamas Christian Council, Apostle Delton Fernandez, says the move is timely.
We thank all of the pastors, denominational heads who really lent us their support, and we self-imposed at 25%. And then we saw the numbers trending in the right direction. And we were able to hear from our former CMOs and our former health team and help us realize now we could transition again. And so we are thankful that the process is working, thankful that the opening and closing brings us to a place that we can react quickly. And then our pastors are using all of the tools. Some churches are totally virtual. Some churches are in the parking lot. And so I think churches have proven that we can be good stewards of what we've been given. And in short order, we'll be opening up even more. If the numbers remain the same, we'll be moving to the 75 and then maybe at the end of the year, full 100.
The new measures also provide for the casket or urn to be allowed inside the church during funeral services, something grieving families could appreciate.
I think it brings good closure, the way we're used to doing it in the Bahamas, that families can come into a sacred place of worship and say their final goodbyes, to view the body for the final time, and then have that service and then lay their loved one to rest. I think it brings a sense of normalcy And it seems to give them that sense of sacredness that their family member had a good Christian burial.
The managing director of Sweeting's Mortuary agrees.
It gives the families now a sense of normalcy now, that they can have funeral services now in church and to bury your loved ones with the dignity that they deserve. Having a funeral service is more gratifying, per se, rather than just taking your loved one and putting them in the graveyard and just burying them.
Fern Carey, ZNS Network News.
Well, meantime, just over 1,800 people got the COVID-19 vaccine this past week. 327,541 people now have the jab here in the Bahamas. 151,654 receiving just one dose, while 161,251 people are fully vaccinated. The weekly vaccine tracker also shows that more than 242,000 New Providence residents have secured the vaccine, with just over 113,000 of them fully vaxxed. Grand Bahama vaccine stats indicate close to 44,000 residents there have one COVID-19 vaccine dose, and a little over 21,000 are fully vaccinated. Close to 12,000 Eleuthera residents have gotten the jab, with exactly 5,700 Eleutherans fully vaccinated. Rising COVID-19 vaccine numbers are also being reported in Abaco, Exuma, and Ragged Island, Andros, Bimini, Long Island, and Rum Key. These figures comprise Bahamians and residents who were fully vaccinated abroad and registered on vax.gov.bs. Health officials say these figures include extender and booster doses, although they don't contribute to the current vaccine count. Well, children make up a small segment of those residents now fully vaccinated. A medical professional acknowledges lingering vaccine hesitancy among the public is the reason, offering a recommendation she believes could drive up numbers among youngsters. Here's Cleopatra Murphy.
With just about 31% or just under 12,000 young people in the 12 to 17 age group vaccinated against COVID-19, President of the Consultant Physician Staff Association, Dr. Sabrika Pinder-Butler, believes taking the vaccine campaign to schools may bolster uptake among that demographic.
I think that the government has been doing a relatively good job in continuing to promote the vaccines, having some pop-ups and that sort of thing. Perhaps they may need to look at going at schools, having some focus groups with parents directly, especially if we're going to be returning back to normalcy and having more face-to-face interaction with our children and others. I think that perhaps might be the direction to move in.
Her comments come amidst the continued push to get students back to face-to-face learning full-time, a process hampered by the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. One factor she believes is contributing to the less than ideal vaccine rate is the drop in new COVID-19 infections that, although a positive, may also be why more people are not getting the shot against the virus.
When we see a decline in things, human instinct might kick in and say, okay, maybe I don't need to consider it at this time, when in fact this might actually be the time to consider it, because we know that vaccines and immunizations are for preventative things as well, and they safeguard us. They don't necessarily work right away, so your body still needs time.
She offers this advice to parents as children return to the school environment, vaccinated or not.
It's important for us to all remember that we still have to practice those preventative measures. Despite us wanting to return back to normal, that's the way that safeguards us and allows us to sustain that. So making sure that your children and parents as well practice those preventative measures, washing their hands, sanitizing, social distancing as much as possible, making sure they take care of their general health, making sure the children see their doctors, get their checkups, take their vitamins, eat healthy. All of those things are extremely critical, and wearing their masks and those types of things. And
still, Pinder-Butler again stressed if your child is ill, keep him or her at home and alert teachers if he or she has been infected with COVID-19. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Youngsters get added help with limiting the spread of the COVID-19 virus thanks to FTX digital markets. The cryptocurrency group today donated over 170,000 children's masks to the Ministry of Education. The masks are to be distributed to public schools throughout the country. Minister of Education and Technical and Vocational Training, the Honorable Glenys Hannah Martin, believes the gesture will ensure public school students always remain safe.
We are in the Ministry of Education. We're looking forward to the time when children don't have to wear masks and when they are able to regain their youth jubilation and to enjoy life without masks. But for the time being, because we are still in a pandemic and we are back in the classroom now, we're trying to get everyone back in 100% face-to-face. We have to ensure so far as possible that the environment is safe to avoid transmission.
Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. the Honorable Michael Darville, and National Emergency Management Agency Director, Captain Stephen Russell, also giving a thumbs up to the donation.
You were instrumental in helping us with the adult mass, and now you've come to our rescue with the pediatric mass. It's my understanding that each one have 10 masks, and with the help of NEMA and other NGOs, we would be able to work with the Ministry of Education to distribute them so that our children are protected in the classrooms.
With the team from health and education, and we'll, once we get a listing of what is required, we'll get them on the mail boats or the aircraft going to the various destinations.
Well, still to come, smaller cruise lines interested in the Bahamas, and we've got details in the Grand Lucayan sale. We'll be back after the break. And remember to tune in to the morning edition with LaDawn Davis and Charles Fisher at 7 o'clock weekday mornings. We also have news updates at every hour starting at 2 p.m. You can then watch the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern edition, at 6:30 and the National Report live at 7 p.m. All right here on the ZNS Network.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
A lot has changed over the past 60 years, but at Commonwealth Bank, our mission to build lifelong relationships with our clients remains the same. Our customers are more than just a number. Our customers are our family, and together we create banking solutions that fit your unique needs. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Best rate, no delay. Best rate, no delay.
BTC gives more savings on the best fiber internet. It's super fast with super savings in every package. Compare and see for yourself. Enjoy the best home internet experience for all your work, study, and entertainment.
Best rate, no delay. Best rate, no delay.
Visit a BTC store to sign up for the best internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
Since eating at KFC, Shanika became the new savings meme. Get a KFC Mega Mash Bucket Meal with 8 pieces of tender, juicy chicken, a Mega Mashed Potato with gravy, and 4 buttery biscuits, starting at only $20, including VAT, and save like an expert at KFC. Order on WhatsApp at 557-3663. KFC Nassau.
There's nothing as powerful as knowing where you belong. No more waiting. It's time to come home. Come home to friendly smiles. Come home to convenience. Come home to more interest on savings and lower fees. Come home to our bank and your bank. Come home to Bank of the Bahamas, your bank of solutions.
Every journey starts with the first step, and mine starts here. I believed in Tokyo, the belief that we could be the best. We are drenched in Bahamian pride, no matter where we go. In 5 years, Alive built the Bahamas' best network, delivering faster speeds and stronger connections to all 700 islands and keys. Alive believed that every Bahamian deserved a world-class network and excellent customer service. I am proud to be Director of Speed and Connection.
Shawnee Miller-Weibo is total class. Look at her go. What a win.
As we continue to improve our lightning-fast, world-class network and connect with art, culture, and the world around us, Never stop dreaming and never stop believing.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies Limited. If it's healthcare, it's here.
The 2021-2022 mid-year budget's been delayed, and this due to a mutually agreed decision to suspend Parliament in observance of the Free National Movement's upcoming convention and party elections. The Public Financial Management Act and the Fiscal Responsibility Act require that the Minister of Finance table a mid-year review by the last Wednesday in February each year. Things remain unchanged. That would have been Wednesday, February 23rd. However, it's now been decided that this will happen on Wednesday, March 9th, allowing for the F&M's party elections. The report and associated communication provides an update to creditors, investors, and the public on the country's fiscal progress at the halfway point in the fiscal year. Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, Deputy Prime Minister, the Honourable Chester Cooper, says he has reason to be optimistic about the pending sale of Grand Bahamas Grand Lucine Resort as the close of the request for proposal, or RFP, on March 2nd nears. Meantime, the government decided to separate the purchases of the hotel property and the adjoining harbour, as Minister Cooper cites a combined sale as a point of conflict.
We've decoupled the harbor from the hotel. This is a transaction for the hotel specifically. There are 3 properties, it's magnificent waterfronts, and we are moving forward with the hotel deal. We found that the harbor deal was a precondition to the sale of the hotel, which became very problematic, and therefore we determined that it was in the best interest of the Bahamian people and the people of Grand Bahama to decouple it and look at them as 2 separate transactions.
The Deputy Prime Minister also addressing the illegal construction at the rear of the Margaritaville Beach Resort property. The Ministry of Works on Friday released a statement confirming that the structure in question does not have a building permit and is in contravention of Section 4.1 of the Buildings Regulation Act. This before issuing a cease and desist order.
We have very stringent development processes and approval guidelines for all developers in our country, bar none. We make no exceptions as it comes to protecting our beaches, protecting our environment, and therefore I am confident that the process will take its course and the appropriate regulators and appropriate government departments will step in and all will be well.
18 cruise brands representing 110 ships have officially enrolled in the new U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention updated program for cruise ships operating in U.S. waters. According to cruiseindustrynews.com, the CDC's new color tracking COVID-19 dashboard went live Friday night, citing the cruise liners that have opted in, among them Bahamas Paradise, Carnival Disney, Royal Caribbean, and MSC. The CDC's COVID-19 color coding system is only applicable to commercial, non-cargo U.S. and foreign flagged passenger carrying ships with the capacity to carry 250 or more passengers and crew, with an itinerary that includes an overnight stay on board or 24-hour stay on board for either passengers or crew. However, U.S. flagged ships not following this program and operating exclusively in U.S. waters will not be listed as gray, as these ships report cases to state and local jurisdictions. Meantime, the government's received requests from several small cruise lines to make stops to the Family Islands. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honourable Chester Cooper, revealing as much on the heels of the Club Med 2 calling on Mayor Guana last Monday. However, Cooper says due to the potential environmental impact, they're cautious about granting approvals.
We've had some environmental issues related to the damaging of reefs, etc., and some of the islands nearby North Eleuthera, not in relation to the cruise line that's coming to the southeastern Bahamas. But generally speaking, we are concerned about the future development of cruising.
The tourism minister claims millions have been spent on the ongoing redevelopment of the Nassau cruise port that's ideal for large cruises. Meantime, the government's encouraging more calls to Grand Bahama to develop that island's tourism product.
So we're going to have some exciting cruise centers for cruise ships to go into. We have 16 major destinations. We do not want all of them to be cruise destinations. Some would be ecotourism, boutique, resort type destinations, and we're going to continue to develop them as such.
In other news this evening, the police force is looking to restore public confidence following a rash of police-involved shootings last year. It's a disturbing issue the police chief is determined to reduce to a minimum moving forward.
We remain committed in our efforts to be more transparent in the way we handle complaints against police officers. We are also exploring other avenues to encourage the public to report police misconduct. We take these cases very seriously.
Police Commissioner Paul Roll's assurance there in the wake of 20 police-involved shootings last year. One of the said incidents, the November 13th matter involving Denrico Carey. 4 police officers have since been charged with manslaughter, placed before a magistrate's court, and interdicted. Fast forward a month later, and the victims were Antonio Johnson Jr., Anton Roll, Hushan Prapal, and Wildanisha Dorset. 7 police officers were placed before the disciplinary tribunal and interdicted. As for the 2021 police shootings that ended in death,
10 of the fatal injuries are before the coroner's court. 1 is before the disciplinary tribunal, and 1 police shooting is before the magistrate court. In 4 of the non-fatal incidents, the suspects that engaged police were all charged before the court.
in the meantime, a team's been appointed to review all police-involved shootings, including recordings from body cams.
This team includes Deputy Commissioner Clayton Fernanda, who chairs, Assistant Commissioner Lehman Delavo, Assistant Commissioner Zhivago Dames, Father Stephen Davies, and Mr. Roger Thompson, our legal counsel. I have also appointed Assistant Commissioner Lehman Delavo as the lead investigator for all police-involved shootings, with direct report to the Commissioner of Police.
And while not often spoken of or seen, there is a softer side to the police force.
We demonstrated compassion to victims of serious crimes and conducted 450 family meetings, 175 follow-up telephone calls, and 200 agency referrals for counseling. We collaborated with other law enforcement agencies and ran joint operations with the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, the Bahamas Department of Immigration, the Bahamas Customs Department in addressing the overall fight against crime.
Well, the Court of Appeal has cleared appellant Simeon Bain of murder, kidnapping, robbery, and housebreaking, and ordered that he be released from prison. Back in April 2020, the London-based Privy Council allowed Bain's appeal against his conviction for the offenses, which were committed nearly 11 years prior in September of 2009. This after the board found a miscarriage of justice had occurred in his 2013 trial in the Supreme Court, noting that Bain had been seriously prejudiced by serious management by the trial judge, resulting in his not being legally represented at the trial, leading to an unfair trial. The Privy Council then sent the case back to the Court of Appeal to consider the question of a retrial. However, the matter was not heard before the Court of Appeal until some 21 months later. Following the Court of Appeal's hearing, the panel found that a retrial was not in the interest of justice and directed Bain's acquittal and release from custody. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight. Stay with us.
Health is the greatest gift.
That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 9th Fifth Terrace, Centerville, right in the heart of the medical service epicenter of Nassau, Bahamas.
We believe in relationship banking. We take pride in getting to know our client. You have access to knowledgeable, approachable ambassadors and financial coaches so that we can recommend the best product for you. At Fidelity, we care about you. From your financial health to your physical health, we can relate to you because we're just like you. Come and start your relationship banking experience with us today. Visit us online at fidelitygroup.com. Visit any of our branches in Nassau or Grand Bahama, or phone 356-7764 in Nassau, or 352-6676 for Freeport.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
AF General and Health Insurance has you covered for everything that life throws at you. We are here to protect you and your family and everything you worked so hard to achieve. We cover you with liability, auto, home, marine, and commercial insurance. See a BAF General and Health Insurance agent today so we can have you covered. BAF for life.
Tourism today. Bahamas tourism today.
Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper, Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, accepted a supply of 20,000 N95 masks and 6 portable ventilators this past week, all donated by the People's Republic of China.
I want to say a special thank you to the People's Republic of China, represented by China's ambassador to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, Her Excellency Dai Queen Lee. I bring greetings from our Honorable Prime Minister and the people of the Bahamas. Your Excellency, the 25 years of diplomatic relations between the Bahamas and the People's Republic of China have forged between our 2 geographically distant nations a deep friendship characterized by mutual respect and equality. As a friend of the Bahamas, China is well placed to offer assistance to our country in those areas of our economy that are actively under development. Major projects of cooperation, such as the Thomas Robinson Stadium, the Airport Expressway, Bahama, and the Point, stand as symbols of how much we can achieve by working together. In this same spirit of solidarity, China delivered swift aid both in cash and kind to the Bahamas following Hurricane Dorian in 2019 and during the pandemic. Globally, we face a common enemy, the coronavirus pandemic, which emerged in early 2020 in the Bahamas. As a loyal ally and friend, China has supplied the Bahamas with the resources to combat the spread of COVID-19.
In May of this year, the Bahamas and China will celebrate 25 years of diplomatic relations. China pledges its continued support to the Bahamas' anti-pandemic efforts. For more information, please visit www.bahamas.com. I'm Danielle Bodie, and this is Tourism Today.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love.
family guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family, join the family, family guardian. Protect the ones you love, a friend that you can trust, family guardian.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Cable Bahamas Group of Companies is celebrating women in technology. We're taking this opportunity to pause and highlight the leading ladies in information, communication, and technology who are breaking stereotypes and shattering glass ceilings. We hope you'll join us in honoring the tremendous girl power that keeps our community connected.
We get it. Life happens. And when it does, Easy Payday is here for you. Whether it's cash for school fees, a vacation, or even a loan consolidation, no matter what your needs are, we are here for you when you need us most. Eligible applicants can borrow up to $15,000. Visit us at our new location on University Drive. Give us a call at 603-0200 or apply online at easypayday.loans. Easy Payday loans are simple, fast, and easy.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
NASA agencies informing customers of a voluntary recall of certain Similac, Alimentum, and Alcare baby milk powders recently produced at Abbott's manufacturing plant in Michigan. According to a release, the products are being recalled after 4 consumer complaints related to Chronobacter, Sakazaki, or Salmonella Newport was detected. Abbott routinely tests for these and other pathogens before the public release, and to date, no distributed product has tested positive for any of those pathogens. Liquid formulas are not affected, nor any powder formulas, which were not manufactured at the Sturgis, Michigan plant. The Felicity Ace that was carrying around 4,000 vehicles, including Porsches, Audis, and Bentleys, and that caught fire near the coast of the Azores of Portugal last Wednesday, will be towed to another European country or here to the Bahamas. A Digital Journal article quotes the ship's captain of the nearest port, who says the car carrier was on its way from Europe to the United States with the new vehicles and 22 crew members on board. The report confirms the crew members were rescued and the ship was left adrift and burning. The Portuguese Maritime Authority discovered severe burns on the ship's bow and along its 200-meter-long side of the ship, which can transport more than 17,000 tons. A cause for the blaze was not reported. And still on business news, the Down to Earth farm on Cowpen Road's hoping to expand to a full-fledged facility. The farm's owner gave our Charles Fisher this update.
Celebrate our farmers market here. On weekends, we'll also do like a cultural fair. But what we really driving at and aiming at is to get the tours back on stream and to be able to be a part of the ecotourism.
It's not your typical farmers. Things are expanding.
We have a conch stand where we'll be making the conch salad and squash conch. We have a daiquiri and a smoothie bar where we'll be using everything fresh from the farm to be able to do it. We have the pizza oven where we'll be making oven fresh pizza using coconuts for the fuel, not gas made. The rock oven where we be making our coconut tart, potato bread, and all those different things, and these people be able to taste them fresh. We also make like the juices and the different jams and jelly and all the different pepper sauce. So when they come here, they'll get an experience.
You name it, you can find it here. Even stuff you thought you can only find in the food store.
I grow every vegetable that you use in your kitchen. For an example, your onion family. We grow the fennel, we grow the leeks, we grow the chives, we grow the white onion, the yellow onion, red onion. Everything in the onion family, all your carrots, your beets, your switchard. We grow like 10 variety of kale. We grow about 10 different variety of peppers. And what we do is we assist the backyard farmers get their garden in the back of the yard. So my job is to grow their seedling, mix the soil, and make sure they are successful with growing.
And with Bahamians now into feeding themselves and hinted at backyard farming, Sinclair has started a show you how to do it.
We've been doing it now for the last 3 years, right? A lot of Bahamian people are doing well because they don't really have to go to the food store for these things. But I make it so easy that all they do is they come here, they get their seedlings, I mix the soil, they follow my instructions, we get together on WhatsApp, so if they have any problems, they can WhatsApp me, they can WhatsApp back, they can send me pictures, and then I'm working with them to make sure they're successful with growing their food.
For ZNS Network News, I'm Charles Fisher.
And to some somber news, Progressive Liberal Party leader and Prime Minister the Honourable Philip Davis offering condolences to the family of the former Senator, the late Patricia Coakley, this weekend. In a statement, the Prime Minister noted that he was deeply saddened to learn of the death of his friend and sister in the progressive cause, adding that he will miss her. The Prime Minister reminisced about Coakley serving the party on many levels, including the Senate, where he says she acquitted herself with loyalty, trustworthiness, and distinction. Coakley, he says, is yet another second generation of freedom fighters that has gone on to her reward. Prime Minister Davis concluded with, the PLP has lost a great soldier and the country a worthy citizen.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance. Peace of mind.
AID has everything you need and more to complement your home's decor. Luxurious bamboo bath towels, face towels from $1.25 and bath towels from $5.45. Shower curtains from $2.54 and organizers in stylish finishes. Bath mat sets from $7.27 in a multitude of styles and colors. Bed sheet sets from $9.95 and 7-piece comforter sets from $49.95. Doormats from $1.93 with matching runners and hundreds of area carpets. Sofa covers from $19.95, plain and crushed sheer curtains from $5.25 and thousands of panels to choose from. Blinds from $7.02 and curtain rods from $2.89. Ceramic and porcelain dishes, tablecloths, napkins, placemats, utensils, and more. A wide selection of drinking glasses, including elegant stemware, candle holders, vases, and crystal. Full-size mirrors, decorative pictures, and picture frames. AID, Wolf Road, and the Mall at Marathon open late and on Sundays to serve your decorating needs. AID, all you really need and more.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
Best rate, no delays. Best rate, no delays.
BTC gives more savings on the best fiber internet. It's super fast with super savings in every package. Compare and see for yourself. Enjoy the best home internet experience for all your work, study, and entertainment.
Best rate, no delays. Best rate, no delays.
Visit a BTC store to sign up for the best internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
pilot and his passenger are counting their blessings after their private plane crashed Sunday afternoon. Authorities say the pilot, a resident of Jupiter, Florida, left the Treasure Key Abaco Airport with one passenger aboard a wide Piper Aztec twin engine when the aircraft's left engine failed after takeoff. The pilot told authorities the plane soon began losing power, eventually crash landing in the forest. Luckily, both the pilot and his passenger were unscathed. Investigations are ongoing. Abaco police also investigating a boating accident in the area of Foots Key just before 8 o'clock Sunday night. Police confirmed that an 18-foot Boston whaler with two Caucasian males on board collided into rocks. Both men were ejected from the vessel. In the process, the captain was seriously injured. He was taken to the Marsh Harbor Clinic and later airlifted here to the capital for medical attention. The other male passenger sustained injuries as well. Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makishla. Outside of our studios, we are under partly sunny skies with a temperature of 75 degrees. Relative humidity 73%. Easterly winds at 13 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,022.1 millibars. That is 30.19 inches, and the pressure is steady. Temperatures around the islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 75 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Green Tool. Key, Abaco, Marsh Harbor, Abaco at 73 degrees. The Berry Islands, 75. Alistown, Bimini, 76. 76 also in Harbor Island. Roxanne, Lutra, Black Point, Exuma, Kemp Space on Andros, and Fresh Creek in Central Andros. Artistown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rum Key, 77 degrees, 76 in Georgetown, Exuma, 77s in Rygat Island, Clarence, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, and Acklands. Matthew Tiny Nag 78 degrees, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 80. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter. In the Northwest Bahamas tonight through tomorrow, the winds are going to be easterly at 12 to 18 knots, wave height 3 to 6 feet. The high tide will take place at 11:26 tonight. Another high tide will occur at 11:39 tomorrow morning. In the central and southeastern islands through Tuesday, easterly flow 15 to 20 knots, and the wave height 4 to 7 feet with caution flags in place. And then as we take you into the middle of the week, Wednesday, in the northwestern islands, the winds fall off quite nicely. Easterly at 10 to 15 knots, wave heights down 2 to 4 feet. Low tide 6:47 in the morning, high tide at 12:36 in the afternoon. Now for the central and southeastern islands on Wednesday, easterly winds unchanged at 15 to 20 knots. Rough seas once again at 4 to 7 feet. So we will maintain the caution flag for the central and southeastern islands on Wednesday. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
You know how long I've been looking for you, guys? Mom, from the other night. We had a good night, then you disappeared on me. Where you going? But hey, y'all, where you been, y'all? I've been looking for you. But hey, y'all, where you been, y'all? I've been looking for you. I've been chilling out by the bar last night. This y'all, she was looking nice.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
She make me feel like a king.
How the smartest shoppers are shopping in Nassau. Variety disposable products versus the other guys. $120.40 versus $150. Variety disposable products, 25% savings. Bingo, save $3. Padilla, save $2. Bounty hand towel, $1. And that's how the smartest shoppers saved over $30 on this cart at Variety Disposable.
Undecided about the COVID-19 vaccine or booster? Here are some facts to help you make a decision. The vaccine does not cause COVID-19 infection, and there's no evidence that it makes it worse. Approved vaccines are monitored for safety across the globe. Vaccines do not alter your DNA. The vaccine is effective against current variants of the COVID-19 virus. The vaccine can prevent severe illness if you do contract the virus. We're all in this together. Choose wisely.
When you want to save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you want to look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
Every journey starts with the first step, and mine starts here.
So tight. Is she going to get there?
I believed in Tokyo, the belief that we could be the best. We are drenched in Bahamian pride, no matter where we go. In 5 years, Alive built the Bahamas' best network, delivering faster speeds and stronger connections to all 700 islands and keys. Alive believed that every Bahamian deserved a world-class network and excellent customer service. I am proud to be Director of Speed and Connection.
Shawnee Miller-Weibo is total class. Look at her go. What a win.
As we continue to improve our lightning-fast, world-class network and connect with art, culture, and the world around us, never stop dreaming and never stop believing.
AAF General and Health Insurance has you covered for everything that life throws at you. We are here to protect you and your family and everything you work so hard to achieve. We cover you with liability, auto, home, marine, and commercial insurance. See a BAF General and Health Insurance agent today so we can have you covered. BAF for life.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Welcome to your sports on this Monday, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports news. Coach Olette Matthew McCowan continuing to make her mark over in the collegiate ranks, achieving another milestone over the weekend with her team's 57-47 win over Vanderbilt yesterday. The Lady Rebs had secured their first 20-win season since 2006. The Rebs are now 20-6 on the season, are 8-5 in the SEC, and look like a strong lock for the NCAA tournament.
Well, with three games left, it means the world because I think it puts us at what's our record now in conference?
We are, you mean in conference?
In conference.
We are now 8-5.
We're 8-5. So even if we were to blow the next three, we're 500. I felt like it was the icing on the cake. We knew our magic number was 8 all along. And so we focus on getting to 8, getting to 8, getting to 8. And 8 happened to be 20. And now I think our team can play a little bit more relaxed because we feel confident about our opportunities in the NCAA tournament. And so now, okay, checklist. Let's build on that.
Coach Yo on the outlook for the rest of the season.
And so now, okay, checklist. Let's build on that, So it's a quick turnaround with Arkansas on Tuesday. And we're going to have to do our best to just mentally prepare for the fight. But as long as we defend at a high level, I like our chances.
Team LeBron is officially 5-0 in the All-Star game after their 163-160 win over Team Durant in last night's NBA All-Star game from Cleveland, Ohio. Team LeBron and Team Durant each consisted of 12 of the best players in the league. The starting lineup was LeBron James, Stephen Curry, Nikola Jokic, DeMar DeRozan, and Giannis Antetokounmpo for Team LeBron. For Team Durant, it was Joel Embiid, Ja Morant, Jason Tatum, Andrew Wiggins, and Trae Young. Steph Curry would go on to win the game's MVP, finishing with the game-high 50 points and a new All-Star game record of 16 three-pointers. For his efforts, he was presented with the newly named Kobe Bryant All-Star MVP trophy. Among the players notably absent from the All-Star game was Philadelphia 76ers recently acquired superstar James Harden. Harden elected to opt out of the game to rehab a nagging injury. In this viewer-submitted photo, Harden can be seen with a trainer at McFit West using some of this downtime to rehab and stay in shape. The NBA schedule is set to resume on Thursday. A trio of Bahamian Collegiate swimmers wrapped up their conference championships over the weekend. In Division II, it was Henderson State University's Lamar Taylor who had a stellar meet after capturing 3 gold medals on the first day of competition in the 50-yard free and 200-yard free and medley relays. Taylor came back the following day and won the 100-yard free with a time of 43.47 seconds. He earned an NCAA B-Cut qualifying time and was close to breaking the conference record of 43.43. It was a personal best for the teenager who previously had a personal best mark of 44.40 seconds. Isaac Bastian and Lily Higgs competed at the Macaulay Aquatic Center in Atlanta, taking part in the ACC Swimming and Diving Championships. For Bastian in the 200-yard breaststroke on Saturday night, he swam in the C final, clocking a time of 1 minute 55.36 seconds to win that race. It was a personal best time for the senior and the NCAA B-Cut qualifying time. Bastian's team finished 6th overall with 676 points. As for Lily Higgs, she swam for the University of North Carolina. She would finish 3rd in the B final, the 200-yard breaststroke, with a personal best time of 2 minutes, 12.12 seconds. It was also an NCAA B-Cut qualifying time. The Tar Heels finished 4th overall with a score of 760 points. The annual KPMG Youth Winter Championships took place this weekend, hosted by the Nassau Yacht Club and the Bahamas National Sailing School. In the 25-strong Optimist Championship fleet, Craig Ferguson of the Bahamas National Sailing School was the triumphant recipient of first place, with Zane Monroe in second and Norman Cartwright finishing in third. In the Sunfish fleet, it was won by Petrus Maritz of the Royal Nassau Sailing Club, with Enzo Godoy of the Royal Nassau Sailing Club in second. Over in the laser class, the winner was Joshua Weech of the Nassau Yacht Club, with Johnny Mindorf of the Lyford Key Club finishing in second. The top 3 finishers in each fleet received trophies, which were presented by Mr. Nico Maritz of KPMG. And the Auburn's men's golf team claimed its 38-team championship with a victory at the inaugural Nexus Collegiate Tournament at the Albany Resort here last weekend. As a team, the Tigers shot 9-11, 47 over to edge out the competition and secure the win. It was Auburn's first team championship since dominating the Tiger Invitational last spring. Auburn won the team portion again with a score of 9-11. In second was Ohio State with 9-14. North Florida was third with 9-27. Mississippi State was fourth with 9-31. And Clemson would round out the top 5 with a score of 9-35. And that's my look at sports on this Monday. I'll check on weather when we return.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Avery's has been around from 1992 in an area far away from most things. In 2018, I picked up the mantle. At the onset that I would have taken over, I was connected to Game of Bahamas, and I'm always trying to enhance my Avery's package. And I wanted to expand my customer satisfaction through technology. Everybody comes in and they want to use the Wi-Fi. They want to be able to go live, show off the food and the ambience and the entertainment. So since I've been using the Aero device, my buffering almost went to 0. There's no interruption in that service, which is phenomenal. I would recommend the Aero device to anyone to use it. It works.
Hungry and looking for something so satisfying? Something to truly tantalize your taste buds? Then make it Charlie's, the home of the #1 cheesesteak in the world. Also serving up a variety of delicious wings, freshly cooked to order under 10 minutes, with 2 locations to serve you. Mall at Marathon, open from 11 a.m. until 7 p.m. and the East-West Highway next to Solomon's from 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. That's Charlie's, the home of the #1 cheesesteak in the world. 393-3100.
I save, you save, we all save at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Kraft Macaroni and Cheese Dinner, 7 1/4 ounce, 2 for $2.09. Best Value Ketchup, 32 ounce, 2 for $5. Best Value Cornflakes, 18 ounce, $2.79. Premium boneless chuck steak or roast, $6.99 per pound. Sweet strawberries, 1 pound, $3.99. Save each day at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Of Bash Youth Build a Skill, Terry Miller, during the program's recent dedication ceremony, noted that hundreds of lives are lost to drug addiction each year. That's why his organization for the past 31 years has worked tirelessly to rehabilitate young addicts and equip them with the critical skills for life.
Addiction is a relapsing disease. Recovery is an individual thing, and there are too many variables in each of our lives. So no one can correctly and accurately predict the ultimate outcome.
The man that stands before you would not be here if not for BASH, Bahamas Association for Social Health. This place is my home. The men here are my brothers, and I'd like to say thank you to each person present here.
Education Minister Glenys Hannah Martin was on hand for the ceremony.
We must never forget how we have come to be where we are, and to reflect on where we are, and to see whether we must adjust our course so that we remain faithful to those ideals that those who came before us fought for. Principles of dignity, human dignity, principles of equality, principles of equity, principles of supporting people who are in suffering conditions, and the principle of love.
It's that principle that makes the world go around. I'm Adama Williams for Ed Talk. Want to stay in the know? Subscribe. Text 819-BMOE. That's 819-2663. Remember to like and subscribe to our social media platforms.
I want you on the picture your parents them over there watching you. You want gangbang?
It's back.
You're here because your parents decided to put you in here.
The groundbreaking reality series returns.
You never told me before? You raise your hand at me?
Do you know it's still time to get it together?
With never before seen footage.
Come punch me then. Send you to punch your mommy. You punch me?
This ain't no playground. You can know before you leave today. If you leave, if they find some space, I can teach you all how to disrespect.
It's a whole new season.
Don't come here with your movie face, because I ain't buying it.
Watch their transformation.
It bears to be a winner. It bears to be a winner. Being like, you are a unit. You moving as one.
So why you doing what you do? The Ministry of National Security and the ZNS Network presents Shark Treatment. A whole new season coming soon.
Direct Talk with your host David G goes on the road live in the Turks and Caicos Islands as we celebrate our heritage and culture. 2 countries, 1 people, 1 chain of islands.
Direct Talk live from the Turks and Caicos Islands, partially sponsored by Bahamas Air.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, high pressure will dominate our weather for the balance of this week, and that will continue to generate some fresh breezes. But by the middle of the week, we'll see a relaxation in the winds, at least over the northwest Bahamas. Our forecast for tonight, we're looking at partly cloudy and mild conditions, low temperature just around 71 degrees. And tomorrow, it's going to be mostly sunny and warm with a high temperature of 80 degrees. Your extended weather forecast over the next 7 days in the low 80s right through the cycle. Lots of sunshine developing in our forecast, taking us right into the weekend, and we're going to see those nighttime temperatures. They continues to hug into the upper 60s to low 70s. Makeshla.
Well, thanks, Basil. That does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.